Donald Trump, I implore you to sit your ass down somewhere and go play. Who keeps making this guy relevant? Seriously. Who out there continues to make Donald Trump relevant enough to think that he can affect a news media cycle, a presidential election, and whatever the hell else he wants to do? If you haven't learned by now, Donald Trump will use anything he can to pimp the media, to keep his name out there, and to promote his brands for whatever they're worth. If you haven't heard by now, Donald Trump's big announcement was that he will give $5 million to the charity of President Obama's choice, charity or charities of President Obama's choice, if the president produces for Donald Trump to Donald Trump's liking his college transcripts as well as his passport documentation, the application, he says, for his passport. Who asked for that kind of stuff? Seriously. Who does it? I think the offer is bogus. I don't think that Donald Trump doesn't have the money. That's not why I call it bogus. I call it bogus because, Donald, why don't you just give the money to charity? Why do you have to give with stipulations like that? I mean, it only makes sense to me. If you care that much about charity, about the charities of Obama's choice, as you call them, then why don't you give to them directly? And really, honestly, what charity would accept that kind of money from Donald Trump or President Obama, knowing that it's really essentially blackmail money? I mean, imagine those headlines from whatever charity would take, this money from Donald Trump. It just wouldn't make any sense to me at all. At all. And he's so pressed about these college transcripts. I need to remind you all, I really need to remind Donald Trump that the president before Barack Obama, George W. Bush, yeah, remember him? He was a C student. Didn't he go to Yale or something like that? And here we have a black man sitting in the office who was president of the Harvard Law Review, the first African American to hold that position. And we want to criticize grades? Huh. Yeah, okay. Don't do it today, Donald Trump. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I checked my Facebook. My friend Crystal says, and I will quote her, and I agree with her. Donald Trump has erectile dysfunction. It's the only answer. No man with a fully functioning penis is this petty. Totally agree with that statement, and I'm going to take it a step further. Melania Trump, I'm talking to you now. Sweetie, you're off your job. You're supposed to be setting it out for your man so that he's not petty and stressed out and causing all these problems and whining like this. This is your fault, Melania. It's all your fault. I know the girl is only like 18 or 19 years old, so this cannot be a hard task for her. She already had one baby by Donald Trump. What's going on? But you know what, as I think about it, if I were a woman and I had to get in my bed every night and the thought of Donald Trump getting on top of me, I probably wouldn't want to do anything either. It's like Mr. getting on top of Celia in the color purple. My God. Ugh. Anyway, let's get serious, people. I'm not even going to get into the historical implications of showing a black person showing a white person their papers. If you know anything about history, slavery, etc., and the post-slavery era, you know what that means. And it's not a good thing. Not even going there today. The bottom line is that Donald Trump does not like President Obama. He has not, he currently does not, and he will not like President Obama. There's not enough paper in the world. There's not enough umbilical cord blood in the world. And even if Obama offered Malia and Sasha as a dowry, he still wouldn't like him. So we just got to get over it. It just is what it is. There's nothing that's going to make Donald Trump change his mind. If Obama shows those papers, he's going to give the $5 million and it's going to be nothing out of his bank account. But you know what? If it wasn't Donald Trump, then it would be Orly Tates, the birther queen. If it wasn't Orly Tates, it would be the Tea Party, which they've done before. So there's always going to be somebody to fill in that gap of stupidity, of being an asshole, that Donald Trump He feels in so well right now. But I'm going to close this video by saying this, and I'm going to talk directly to Donald Trump when I say this. Every morning that President Obama wakes up in the White House as the commander-in-chief of the United States Army and the leader of the free world and the leader of this country, he wins and you lose, Donald.